Inflation, 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 folks. Tomorrow we have the CPI numbers coming out. The reason the markets are pretty much stagnant right now, Bitcoin under $20,000, not even able to reach $22,000. Things are very bearish right now, folks. That can't even be denied. Let's talk about some price targets for tomorrow. Tomorrow the CPI data does come out, and many analysts are expecting it to be high, which will probably push inflation back up to around 9%. So I do expect a market dump on this inflation report. No guarantees, but that's the way the market's looking right now. People are bracing for a bad CPI report. So I think it will be a short-term dump as usual, but with Bitcoin barely hanging out at about 19,000, I think retesting that $18,000 and $17,000 Bitcoin is a probable scenario and a great opportunity to pick up some cheap Bitcoin and cheap altcoins. So let me go down the list, at least the top 50 of what I would be buying if we dump and price targets. Of course, these are just basically predictions. I don't know where we're going to go. These are price targets I'm looking to buy cheaper coins at. And Cardano is going to be on the list. And I actually want to start with Cardano because Cardano, it does have that Vasco hard fork coming up end of July. I don't think the Vasco hard fork is going to make one bit of difference regarding the price of Cardano. They canceled it last month, and I think that pretty much took the momentum out of it. Cardano barely hanging out at 43 cents right now. A 35 to 38 cent Cardano, to me, if Bitcoin drops down to like 18,000, 17,000, is inevitable. So I'm looking to pick up Cardano between 35 and 38 cents. 38 cents was the last big buy I got of Cardano. That was back when Bitcoin was down to 17,800. I was able to get some Cardano for, I think, 17 cents, or not 17 cents, for 38 cents. And it hasn't gone back down there since. But right now, things are looking very weak, and Cardano will probably retest that 38 to 35 cent mark, maybe even lower, just depending on how low Bitcoin goes. So for me, I have an app, and I have alerts set for when Bitcoin goes under, or when Cardano goes under 40 cents. I will get a notification. BNB, I'm looking for a $200 BNB. BNB dumps hard and it pumps hard. Right now, BNB is pretty much holding on to about 230, but I think if Bitcoin dumps like $1,000 in a flash crash or $2,000 based off these CPI numbers, I think we'll probably get between a 190 and a $200 BNB, and that's what I'm looking to buy. As of right now, I have no BNB, so I'm looking to pick some up. Solana, I will be picking up Solana if we get Solana at about $28. Again, that's not a guarantee, but I've been waiting to get Solana for a long time. Solana went down to like $28 last month. I didn't pick any up because I'm not a huge fan of Solana because it's so centralized, but with Sam Bankman-Fried behind it, I think it's due for at least another bull run, depending on if the venture capitals don't pull out or not. So I'll be picking some up at $28. Polymatic is on the top of my list. It's been pumping for a long time now. It went down to 35 cents, and I really regret not buying any. So I do think if Bitcoin dumps, we'll get a Polymatic for about 45 cents. And I just don't think it's going to go that much lower than that because it kind of hit a bottom at like 35, and it basically just went up from there. Kind of like Theta. Theta hit that bottom of 98 cents, and then it's just basically kind of been hovering at $1.20, $1.10 ever since. So I'm looking for Polymatic in the 40. I think when Polymatic gets in the 48 cent range, excuse me, I'll probably pick some up. And that's fine. Theta. Oh, also VeChain. VeChain has very strong support right now at 2 cents. Even when Bitcoin was down to 17,000, VeChain was just hanging out at about 2 cents. If VeChain dumps below 2 cents, or even just like 2 cents even, I'm probably going to pick some up. Because keep in mind, VeChain was at like 28 cents at the height of the bull run. That's a pretty good return. And VeChain's not going anywhere, folks. I mean, VeChain's been around for a long time. It's one of those legacy coins, and it has a lot of good stuff happening with the supply chain, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. So while it's not my favorite coin, picking some up during a dump this week would not be a bad idea. I already have a ton of Theta at 98 cents. I will be picking some up for my trading bag when Theta hits $1. And I'll basically dump that when Theta hits $1.60 when we get a major relief bounce. keep in mind, folks, if Bitcoin dumps like $2,000-$3,000, we're going to get a major relief bounce afterward. Even if it's just a dead cat bounce, we're going to get a bounce. And that's pretty much it in the top 50. It really just comes down to the CPI report tomorrow, which I do think is going to cause a little bit of a dump. Could be wrong. Maybe we'll pump. Maybe it's already priced in. Only other news I could really find today, which is really fascinating, the founders of that Three Arrows Capital, basically they all went missing. They were all fled the country. The offices are shut down. Folks, this is why it's so important not to get involved in any of these crypto projects, especially when it comes to investing, or somebody says they're going to give you 20% interest, 10% interest on your money, or crypto hedge funds. These are all scams. Even the ones that haven't collapsed are scams. They'll all collapse at some point. I mean, BlockFi is a scam, Celsius is a scam. They're all Ponzi schemes. They're all just basically waiting to collapse. But, there is a good chance these guys can get away with it. I mean, if they cashed out a ton of money and they have crypto wallets, hey, get a little bit of plastic surgery, maybe change your name. If they have millions and millions of dollars, it's not too hard to get a fake passport. And these guys may never be seen from again. So be very careful, folks. Don't be handing out your crypto and your crypto keys to all these freaking charlatans. It's just very depressing to see people lose all their money that way. And in Cardano news, basically this article is just saying, yeah, Cardano's already dumped 85%, but developer activity on Cardano is at a 6-month high. So even with Cardano down 85%, everything's going 100% according to plan with Cardano. It's more popular than ever. There's more developers in it than ever. And they have the Vasco hard fork coming out next month. Cardano, of course, is one of my top coins that I highly recommend people buy. I'm actually a little upset Cardano hasn't dumped down to 20 cents yet, because that's really where I have a lot of money on the side waiting to go in. But it might not get below 35 cents. Because remember, Cardano hit 38 cents, and it did a really strong pump up from there. So that could have been bottom for Cardano. But anything under 40 cents, I'm looking to do another buy level on Cardano. And I've pretty much been saying this for the last couple of months. But, with this whole CPI garbage, I just feel like the market's just basically waiting to dump tomorrow if those numbers are high. At least the stock market is. And, Bitcoin going back down to $18,000 or $19,000 even, it seems pretty much inevitable at this point. Even when we have bullish days right now in crypto, Bitcoin cannot get above 22,000, and it's just going to be a bearish year, folks. And I think the next few months are going to be bearish. And I think as we slowly start to climb out of the recession and the numbers start to get a little bit better and the stock market starts to rebound a little bit, then you're going to see Bitcoin go back up to like $30,000, $40,000. But I don't think we're going to get back to all-time highs, like I said in my video yesterday, until we get closer to that halvening. But right now, we're very close to the bottom, and we're going to be here for a little bit longer as the markets tank. But we're not going to be here forever. And it's going to get to the point where we pump up to $25,000, $30,000, $35,000, and we start hanging out there for a while, and that's going to be the new bottom. And you guys are going to be so pissed off you didn't buy now at these levels. This happened the same thing to me in 2020 during COVID, 2021, 2018. It doesn't give you these opportunities forever. If you're just sitting around waiting for lower prices and you're not in this market at all, I'm telling you, you're not going to get the bottom. You're just not. Nobody ever does. Maybe some people do when they get lucky, but now is definitely the time to be cost averaging and picking up some of this crypto, folks. Because these are some great deals on most of these coins. And most of these altcoins are not even at their lows, which is kind of annoying. Remember, BNB was at a 190 last month. So I guess at least try to wait for that. We'll probably retest it again. But some of these altcoins are like doing very well, like Matic at 57 cents. I mean, Matic was down to 35 cents last month. So a lot of these altcoins are actually doing really, really well. So if you can get them a little bit of a dump, a little bit of a 20% pullback, that's the time to pick this stuff up and hold for 2 years, folks. All right, we'll do another video tomorrow during around the time of the CPI report. I think we will get a dump when those numbers come out, at least in the stock market, and that will translate to Bitcoin. There's no guarantee we're going to get a dump, folks. We could pump. Maybe it's already priced in. But for me, I'm looking to buy some cheap crypto this week. And come join me.